Hello everyone and welcome to section 4 of this course. By the end of section 3, we know about the integrated components of bot builder package and how a bot processes incoming activities from a channel and then sends back responses to users. We learned about how the JSON payload coming from the channel gets deserialized and gets processed all the way to an adapter. In this section, we are going to focus on activity handler, which is again a class provided by a bot builder package, and we will learn more about how the incoming activity gets processed once the adapter hands over the message to an instance of activity handler. We will start building our restaurant reservation bot by updating our main dialog activity handler and turn it into a dispatcher to route incoming activities to one of the underlying component dialogs. As you can see in the tree structure diagram, we are going to name our activity handler as RRBot. This is currently named as EchoBot. Our activity handler will contain some components under it. These components will be suggested action, type of activities. We will have different component dialogues under activity handler. We'll have recognizers, and we're also going to manage our bot state. So we will have some state management objects initialized under activity handler. So I'll start with suggested actions. Whenever a user is going to join our bot, or whenever a user is going to join the conversation, we're going to present the user with a welcome message. Now this welcome message will be activity of type suggested actions. Now suggested actions is used to send a reply back to user with few suggested action buttons. Now these suggested action buttons can be to make a reservation, or to cancel a reservation, or it can be something related to our restaurant, like a user may want to just locate the address of our restaurant. So we'll provide users with all these buttons, and it will be easier for user to carry on with the task he wants to perform. Now activity handler will also have some component dialogues built into it. These component dialogues will be for creating a reservation or to cancel the reservation. Now these component dialogues will be of type waterfall dialog. Now waterfall dialog will contain different prompts which will be used to gather information from the users, like we can ask for the number of people going to visit the restaurant, or we can ask for the date and time when the user want to make a reservation, or it could be just a confirmation prompt like yes or no. We are also going to validate all these information coming from the user. So we'll also validate each prompt type if the user is entering the correct value or not. Coming to recognizers, we are going to use recognizers to create Lewis and Q&A maker cognitive services object. Now we're going to use recognizers to register Lewis and Q&A maker service in our bot, and these recognizers will connect to Lewis and Q&A maker endpoints, and we'll send the user query to these endpoints, and we'll get back a response from these cognitive services, which we will use to route our incoming activities to one or other component dialog. Now we'll also need to manage the state of a user conversing with our bot, or we'll need to save the conversation state itself, because we need to maintain a state of on what step the conversation is at, or we just need to we might just need to keep a history of the conversation. So we'll create user state, conversation state objects for that purpose. We will also have dialog state object created. The dialog state tracks where the user is within the dialogues of a dialog set, and it is updated by dialog context. Now all these state management objects will have their own getter and setter methods to access different state properties that we will define under each state object. So let's go ahead and start creating our bot and take on each component one at a time. That's all for this lecture, guys, and I will see you in next session.